There were music studios, retail space everywhere. These small grocery stores, every third corner there was these little grocery stores, little Italian places.
Back in those days, we were the biggest retail outlet for Russell Stover and Whitman's Chocolates. Because all the guys who worked at U.S. Steel come on February 14th and buy their wife's candy.
Ensley was fairly vibrant. I was told, however, that by the time I was growing up here, that Ensley was already in decline, but I didn't know. It looked pretty vibrant to me, but when I came back to Ensley, I could see that decline. The change in Ensley is almost strictly because of the closing of the steel mills here. Whereas there used to be a lot of people who earned a lot of money, you could get a job there without having a high school diploma or GED, make what is probably equivalent to about $17 an hour now.
Gilmer Drug's community drugstore, it's been here 107 years. It's transitioned over time from back in the day, we were the school depository where everybody came to get their school books when they started school. You know, we catered a lot to the U.S. Steel guys when they would get off work, come in, and as the community's changed, we've had to shift our focus. The per capita income in this area is about $24,000 a year, below the poverty level.
People who could move, moved. They went to places where they could find other jobs. The people who could not move stayed and have kind of made the best life they can. And so the change is really an economic one. I came of age here, I graduated high school here, all of my lifelong friends are from here. And so Ensley has given me so much that I feel it's necessary for me to give back.
Kaumba is a Swahili word that means creativity. Kaumba is also a principle of Kwanzaa. And that principle says that we should always do as much as we can in such a way that we leave our community more beautiful and more beneficial than it was when we inherited it. I have a responsibility to this community. And I can't sit back and do nothing. I'm the founder for Kaumba Community Arts. We are an organization that wants to inspire students of color and to pursue creative careers by teaching them design and creativity skills. They are also provided with opportunities to do real client work and learning from design professionals how to do graphic design. They've done some work for AL.com, for TEDx Birmingham, for WBHM, who's our local NPR affiliate. So I think what that looks like impact-wise is having this group of high school students say, oh, these are the designs I've created for, these companies in the city. They become much more aware of themselves or much more confident in their creative abilities. But they're also learning what it looks like to grow a nonprofit from scratch.
Deidre Clark brought me back to Ensley. She was doing photography classes at the Ensley Rec, the place that's so lively with everybody. And helped out with the photography classes a little bit. And then I just kind of started driving around Ensley, trying to figure out what to do next, what I could do. There was an opportunity to acquire some funding for some health-related thing. And I said, yeah, I've got an idea. And so I brought back the next day a proposal for the Color Project. The Color Project consists of public art, pocket parks, community gardens, a lighting change through downtown Ensley, and a soundscape. And those things individually have been known to change people's perceptions about a space. There was a Department of Justice, I believe in Ohio, who had a very high recidivism rate from these 2 zip codes. And they just invested in public art, and they cut the recidivism rate by almost 60%, just because the art made people take more stock in their community. And so the art is to get people to be able to come out of their house and say, this is beautiful, and I'll come to this thing because this place feels safe. And then the community gardens to get people, when they come out of their house, to move around. Here's a garden, here's some seeds, here's some tools, plant some stuff, you get to eat it. right? And then people come out and they take over a box and they come out there and they plant things and they tend the gardens and then they harvest the stuff and then they eat fresh vegetables that they normally would not get because this area is in food apartheid. Like there's no real access to fresh food.
We do traditional prescriptions, accept all the Medicare plans. We have in-house charge accounts. We accept payments. A lot of our customers still don't trust banks. And so, they can come in and get money orders, pay their gas bill, their light bill, their cell phone bill, all right here in the store. We've partnered with Rev Birmingham and Regions Bank and a few other resources to come in and help people understand how to manage their finances better. So we try to provide a plethora of community services, for people because a lot of them don't have transportation.
Ensley has a perception problem. People believe or perceive Ensley to be not a safe place when that is really further from the truth.
Sometimes we get a bad reputation because no matter what happens from Central Park to Green Acres, it's called Ensley.
Even though we are in a place that is pretty safe, your perception is your reality. So if you don't feel safe, then you probably won't spend a lot of time in a space. And this is a trick that retailers employ all the time. The lighting aspect isn't very harsh. It's really a soft kind of light, has a psychological effect of calming people. And the last is the soundscape. Soundscapes make people feel safer, make people feel more invited. It also works to deter crime because people who are there to commit some kind of crime may not do it because they feel like they're not alone, that somebody is right around the corner, somebody might be watching them, they can hear people moving around. So all these things are together to help fix the perception of this community.
I'm very optimistic about Ensley. I really am. I think God's got good plans, great plans for this community. There's a lot of really good people here. And I think that the cost of real estate is so cheap that it's a perfect breeding ground for businesses to come in.
I would like to be able to leave the Bethesda, walk down the street and go get tea, and go hang out at a bookstore or go to a bar for a whiskey sours with my friends, but also have a place that, I can run in real quick and buy stuff that I need for my kids, whether that's clothes or shoes or whatever.
For Ensley to be kind of a haven for artists, I would love for people to come here to Ensley to find art, to see it on the streets, to see it on people in the kind of clothes they're wearing. I want people to come to Ensley for beauty.
I would like to see Ensley better than she's ever been. People talk about Ensley in her heyday with around the same time as big band jazz and when the steel plant was up and there were many, many people here who were employed and there were many families here, but even better than that. And that's a very long road that requires our local government, our state government, our federal government, the people who live here, the people who love this place, to all kind of come together and say, how do we collectively do our part to make Ensley more beautiful and more beneficial?